हेलो गाइस, गुड मॉर्निंग। दिस इज अमित उपाध्याय। कैसे हैं आप सब? आई होप यू आर ऑल फाइन। सो दिस इज माय न्यू वीडियो एंड इन दिस वीडियो वी विल डिस्कस about William Wordsworth's most important epic poem, the Prelude. The Prelude. And in the previous video we have been already discussed about William Wordsworth's life and some of his important works, and today we will discuss about William Wordsworth's most important poem, the Prelude. And if you guys haven't seen my previous video on William Wordsworth, then you can watch this, okay? And please like, share and subscribe my channel Amit Upadhyaya Net Classes. Okay, so now let's start. The Prelude. William Wordsworth, the Prelude. It is the epic. It is an epic. Okay, and it is divided in 13 parts. Divided in 13 parts means this is the long poem, and William Wordsworth wrote it in. It is completed by William Wordsworth in 1805. 1805, but not published until 1850. Not published until 1850, and then William Wordsworth died, and the poem was published posthumously in 1850 by his wife after 3 months of William Wordsworth's death. After 3 months William Wordsworth's death in 1850, it was published and it was completed in 1805, and it has a subtitle. William Wordsworth gives a subtitle that the Prelude means growth of the poet's mind. Growth of the poet's mind. Okay, so this is divided into 13 parts. Now let's talk about each and every part. Each and every part, every book. 13 books, 13 parts. Okay, and so we'll start book 1 and book 2. First talk about book 1 and book 2. In book 1 and book 2, William Wordsworth describes his childhood and youth. What was his childhood and his youth, and he attending the school, he left the England, okay, and he find the most suitable, most appropriate and meaningful thing for his writing. Then in England, when he was start to write, he came to understand nature more and more. He just want to describe in his poems nature, love the beauty, imagination and all. And this would help him to grow as a poet. Okay, so in book 1 and 2 he describes his childhood, how he came under the influence of nature. Okay, then book 3. Book 3, he attending the Cambridge University. In book 3, he describes his education when he was in Cambridge University. He was not a good student. He was not a good student and doesn't fully concentrate on the courses or even his fellow students. He doesn't care about what is in the books. Just want to know about the nature, the beauty of nature, perceptions, ideas, how it take. Okay, then book 4, his education continues, and when his education continues, he just tried to imagine how he described the nature in his books. How he describes the natures in his books, how he describes, I promote the perceptions more and more. I promote his perception about the nature, his ideas and all in his books. So in the Prelude he describes all of them. Okay, and now talk about book 5. If we talk about his education continues. His education continues, and in book 5 he narrates the influence on Coleridge on his poems. Coleridge, one of his friends or collaborator, with whom he has been, and he has been returned. He has cooperated with the lyrical ballads, as you know, as I've already told you in the previous my video. So he narrates the influence on Coleridge on his book 5, and then book 6. Book 6 moves his book 6 moves him England to abroad. Book 6 takes him from England to abroad, European Alps, France, Switzerland, and Italy. He goes European, okay, France, Switzerland, and Italy in book 6. Now book 7. In book 7, he returned to England. Book 7, he returned to England after his adventures in Europe. Okay, then book 8, he describes, he shows his love for nature. In book 8, he shows his love for nature and his relationship to the love for the humankind. He saw book 8 showed love of nature and relationship to the love for humankind. Okay, and then book 9, there was the French Revolution. In his book 9, it was French Revolution. Okay, and he then met in book 9 his friend officer Michael Bupe. Okay, and then if we talk about next book 10, his struggle residence in France and struggle for the revolution. His struggle at his residence in France and struggle at the revolution. Okay, book 10. Then talk about book 11. In book 11, he shows his Salisbury plan to England. He moves from Salisbury plan to England. Then he moves into England from Europe. Okay, and in book 12, he has shown the ultimately passion sports of time, the findings relation between region and passion, how he goes, how the nature, how the life of the poets and the nature goes on, and what is the region and passion behind them, and they will ultimately the call of the sports of time. They charges the apprehension of time, sports of time. Okay, how the time moves on, how the time goes on, and how it impacts on nature and the poet's life. Okay, so and at last, book number 13, there was conclusion. Book 13, there was conclusion of all of the parts, all of the books, and in book 13, in conclusion, he repeats his great love for nature. He repeats his great love of nature as supreme teacher, and authority as being his imagination, which is reflect on them in his minds, and authority which is reflects on them in his mind, and the nature, so of nature, law of nature, and the beauty of nature, beauty of the imagination, he has all saw in his the Prelude in each and every book. Okay, so at last, Wordsworth was one of the greatest poet of the Romantic literature. Okay, and he shows the beauty of nature, law of imagination, and how the nature effect on the poet's life, and how he compared it, how he can fully concentrate his life, not only bookish but also for loving for nature. Okay, so these are the 13 parts, 13 books in the Prelude, William Wordsworth Prelude, and we have already discussed about each and every book in briefly. So guys, if you want to take my notes, if you want to read it in deeply, then you can take my classes, you can take my PDF notes, my handwritten notes, and my all notes which I have, and which are very, very beneficial for all of you in the further upcoming examination, UGC NET, TGT, and PGT, and all. Okay, so guys, if you want to take my class, you want to take my notes, please like, share, and subscribe my channel, and please do subscribe my channel, and stay healthy and stay safe, and keep watching Amit Upadhyaya NET classes, and please subscribe my channel. Okay, so guys, tab tak ke liye stay tuned. Thank you.